Welcome back to Under the Palms, where we're discussing episode 7 of Death in Paradise. This week, Neville Parker found himself in trouble after he was arrested on suspicion of murdering David Cartwright, but the team at St. Marie Police were sure of his innocence and fought to uncover the truth behind what really happened. We're chatting to actor Kent Riley, who plays Andy in Series 12, about the big twist and what the finale has in store. Kent Riley, thank you so much for joining us for Under the Palms. I mean, I guess firstly, this series has been so good. There's been so many twists and turns and a real storyline arc running through the whole series. How has it been for you coming into the show?
Well, it's always exciting, obviously, just from a point of view. Obviously, I've watched the show for a while, on and off. I'm not a religious viewer, but I've definitely seen enough of it where, obviously, you kind of know, obviously, what's coming in terms of what you think you know what's coming in terms of kind of storylines and kind of what type of surprises may crop up. But certainly from kind of what I've seen and obviously kind of what I filmed and certainly the reaction is this has sprung a few more surprises than normally expected, really, which is obviously good for for the show itself and certainly for all the viewers and catching everyone else off guard a bit.
Well, before we get into the detail of the episode, what was the atmosphere like on set and how was it filming with the whole cast and crew?
Brilliant. I mean, kind of getting the opportunity to go over there and kind of be amongst that. And obviously it's, a really established show and certainly, lots of the crew have been there, a while and whatnot. Just being, it felt like quite one big family, if you like, which was obviously is just a nice kind of way to settle into, when you go into something like that.
There's a really funny bit in episode 7 where you first get arrested and Marlon's in the back of the car. I'm intrigued, what was that like to film? Because I was just thinking I would just burst out laughing if that was me.
Well, we did. We had
when he appears.
We had a little chuckle a few times on that because there was a few things going on. Obviously, logistically wise, I had to drive the car at a relatively, safe speed down a little tiny alleyway and then come to a halt. And only obviously then when I'm reversing, there's the reveal. So, kind of getting that right and obviously making sure we were hitting marks and obviously it all heightens everything. So when obviously he come in and he's done his little reveal himself, it was just funny. We were laughing. We had a few takes that were just no, they were no good because there was smirks before the reveal happened. So.
Okay, well, speaking of your character then, how did you find getting into the mind of Andy, coming from Neville's past? How did you find that experience?
Well, I think it's like any type of kind of show where there's always backstories that you won't necessarily always have seen and found out about. I guess it's more straightforward than other times where you will have already seen kind of backstories, unfold and whatnot. I mean, the whole idea is that, Andy and Neville been, friends for years, worked together, and obviously only in the last few years they kind of they haven't spoken. Obviously things have gone awry for Andy. So I guess it's kind of in any way of relating any of your own kind of experiences is like that kind of growing up and having friends that you maybe don't see as often and whatever, but you're still fond of and whatever. Obviously in the scenario in the show, there's the heightened kind of jeopardy of worrying about someone who you were really close to really having a different opinion of you and seeing you in a completely different light, which again in normal life, I imagine it's a tough thing to kind of try and accept.
And well, without giving too much away about episode 8, I mean, I don't want any spoilers. I'm sure fans won't want any spoilers, but can you give us a little bit of a hint about what people can expect? Obviously, episode 7, we kind of see the truth behind Cartwright's murder and we know that Neville's off the hook.
Uh-huh.
But is there anything more? Obviously, the finale's next week. Is there going to be a big cliffhanger? Do you know? What can you tease us about?
I mean, well, what I would say is like most of the series so far, there's unexpected things. So like the kind of the theme of the series has been quite you've been caught, like I said before, kind of off guard and by surprise. So that continues, so to speak.
Okay, I like it. Cryptic, yeah. Very cryptic. And what about your character, Andy? Do you make an appearance in the final episode, or is that Is that a secret as well? What happened?
Well,
I want to know if
I don't know whether I know. I don't know what I can say, but I don't appear in the fan episode.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued to watch. I mean, I guess more generally, do you think the fans are going to feel quite satisfied by the series finale?
I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because obviously, when you kind of go through a journey, certainly in any type of series where it's caught your attention, I think by the end of it, everyone's got their own kind of ideas of how it should, conclude and be resolved. So I would hope that most of the fans who followed this particular series will feel, kind of satisfied at the end. However, like I said, you just don't know. There's some people might have their own ideas and they go, no, it shouldn't have done. It should have been like this.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I feel like this show, and like you say, this series in particular has really sparked like a lot of like passionate fan theories and like opinions on what's going on. And like we were chatting last week about episode 6 when you first see Neville get arrested, right. And we were like me and my colleague Emmy, we were thinking, he can't possibly be responsible. There has to be a way, but you're just forever thinking of all these different theories of how he's going to get himself out of that situation.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's what I mean. I think there's been a certain shift in approach in terms of the writing this season from certainly ones I've seen in the past, where it's quite linear in terms of in the past the actual stories and how they unfold seems quite, although it's intriguing and it's exciting, it's kind of felt like in the past there's been that kind of natural, kind of organic, right, we know where this is going and blah blah. Whereas that it's definitely a different kind of approach this season, definitely.
The teaser at the end of tonight's episode, he's clearly lost his confidence when he got arrested and he's feeling a bit all over the place, and he says to the commissioner, I don't think I can hack this anymore. There's going to be a lot of people worried that he's going to leave. Like, obviously I won't ask you to spoil anything, but can you see why fans might be quite worried about that?
Well, yeah, of course, 100%. I mean, when I turned up in episode 3, I seen loads of people saying, "Could he be the new? Could that be the next detective?" I was like, I don't know where that comes from, but yeah, but that was kind of a common thing, because of the mystique surrounding it. And of course, yeah, I mean that's definitely something that certainly as a viewer and fans of the show will be like, oh no, what's next? So I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know the specifics, so I don't know what could be next for Neville in that sense. But
yeah,
I would be surprised. Yeah.
Okay, cryptic. I like it. Thanks so much for watching Under the Palms. We'll be back next week to dissect the final episode of Series 12. Make sure you like and subscribe and head over to hellemagazine.com for more Death in Paradise content.